Sabrina Carpenter, actress, singer, short queen. She's your favorite artist's favorite art, number one. There have been 2 eclipses this year. The first one was on April 8th when the sun iconically ate the moon and then promptly spat it back out. The second was when Sabrina Carpenter crept up on Olivia Rodrigo's follower count, and for one glorious second, they had the exact same number of followers, as we all should have. Then Sabrina passed her. Eclipse over. And you know what my reaction to that was? None. I love them equally. And you should too, or you're failing at growing. But anyway, I'm blonde, so Sabrina Carpenter's outfits match my hair, so I'm gonna make them.
Starting with the easiest one, her yassified Papa Smurf dress from Please Please Please. Lay out 2 yards of fabric and bunch up the bottom 2/3 till it's approximately dress length. Then trace a dress that snatches you properly and cut what you've traced. But here's the catch. At the top, you're going to add a cone of shame about the size of a Taco Bell exit sign. Snip some asymmetry into the bottom, then cut 2 elastic pieces to the length of a skateboard. Using your rug as an anchor, stretch and pin the elastic to the sides of the dress. Then release the rug pins and bask in the boing. Once you've replaced the top and bottom pins, it's time to operate some heavy machinery. A little too heavy. There we go. As you're sewing the elastic in place, you'll be simultaneously adhering the front to the back. Sew up the tops of the shoulders and the sides of the cone of shame, leaving the top open, though sewing it shut could be equally chic. To wear, simply turn the top half of the hood in on itself and drape into place. This dress took 30 minutes to make, which is less time than it takes to make a pizza, or to make a Starbucks run, or to get a full night's sleep. In fact, it took me 4 times longer to do my hair and makeup as Sabrina than it did to make her dress. But that's partially due to the dissatisfaction I harbored towards my current bang situation. Enter nail clippers.
Hello, old friend.
This dress would be perfect for homecoming, Halloween, or of course, visiting your boyfriend in jail. And I should know, because I have a boyfriend. He's not in jail.
Isn't that sweet? I guess so. By the way, did you see the swimsuits I made from the espresso video? I posted them in short form, but here's a little recap in case you missed it.
Now please take detailed notes on my thorough explanation on how to make this one piece. Make a skin tone bodysuit. Try it on. Ew. Turns out my skin tone looks bad on me. That shouldn't be possible. Dye some flesh mesh with coffee. Don't drink this unless someone dares you to. Punch up your coffee mesh the same way you did with that blue dress. Stitch the sides regular, then stitch the sides bunchy. This suit was met with roaring success. Someone even commented on my short that I looked like a low-budget Sydney Sweeney. If that's not incentive enough to make this, I don't know what is. Moving on to this suit. First off, it's absolutely vital that you get brown neoprene, which you definitely won't be able to do because I could only find 2 yards of it at one place in the UK, and I had it shipped here, and there's no more left on the whole face of the internet. But like, it is absolutely imperative to making this. So take what you will from that.
So, did you notice that sweet, precious little angel of a chicken? Unfortunately, during the course of making this video, I had to say goodbye to her.
It's been a very rough day. Isolde passed away this morning. She was the best chicken who's ever lived. She made me so happy these past 5.5 years. Every time I would come home, she'd run up to greet me. Anytime I sat in her presence, she'd either sit on my lap or my shoulder, or snuggle under my armpit to lay an egg. My stepdad Sonny had a dog that died like 30 years ago, but he never stopped talking about this dog till his own dying day. And I think that's what Isolde will be for me. Like, I'll always tell people how I had the best chicken in the world until I get to be with her again. Who knows, maybe she's hanging out with Sonny and his dog right now. There's a huge pile of feathers in the spot where she died, and little birds have just been taking them one by one and using them to build their nests, and it's honestly so sweet to see.
One of the harder aspects of this was seeing Tonto just not really being herself. She didn't do any grazing for a couple days. She just wanted to sit next to me or be close to Gary. So I knew I needed to get her a companion as quick as possible.
In a very sudden turn of events, one of my dad's old Home Depot customers let him know that he has a bunch of chickens and he could hook us up if we come there this morning. And I'm not like fully ready to get another chicken, I guess. My heart's pretty fragile, but you cannot just keep a chicken outside alone.
My nephew Miles came to assist with the selection.
What are we gonna go get today?
Chickens.
Just one.
2.
I'm afraid if I get 2, then they'll be buddies and they might leave Tonto out and gang up on him.
Can I get a headphone?
Should I get the loud one?
No.
Okay.
Buster! Stop! Why are you laughing?
Of all the chickens, Miles and I were most drawn to this quiet orange one. By the looks of it, she was the lowest in their pecking order. Not the prettiest chicken. She's missing her comb, half her waddle, a toe, and several toenails. But hey, my grandma was missing several toenails too. Come to think of it, her sweet, gentle spirit also reminded me a lot of my grandma Carolyn. So I named her Grandma.
Hi, Grandma.
Something we forgot to take into consideration is that Miles is a little scared of chickens, so on the way home we bribed him to be brave with a trip to the movie theater.
What movie do you want to see?
Despicable Me 4.
All that was left now was to introduce her to her new lifelong companion. Things were a little icy at first, but a couple weeks have gone by and they're best friends now.
Okay, less emotion, more fashion. It's summer. Soon it'll be fall. But before that is a little window of time I like to call FUMMER. You know, that awkward what do I wear in between phase. FUMMER is the puberty of seasons, if you will. But me and my trusty sidekick sponsor, Thredo, are here to walk you through it, like a fashionable Judy Blume novel.
You're going to want layerable tops, like this gray bandit one. Another hot FUMMER move is pairing cozy socks with shorts. And I have a bone to pick with these particular shorts, because I made like 12 articles of clothing for my trip to Europe, but these shorts were the #1 thing people complimented me on. This privy dress, originally $76 but only $13.74 on Thredo, is great for hot summer nights, but can be styled for medium temperature FUMMER nights, or even for a freezing fall Friday when paired with these Zara jeans, originally $50, just $25.99 on Thredo. And I just had to get these Zara heels because they're very Sabrina Carpenter. Kinda like this assorted brands dress, which I mainly got because it reminded me of the dress from the Please 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 music video. But on its own it's kind of a bummer, so let's style it for FUMMER. Easily done by slapping on a long skirt and a cute little assorted brands cardigan. And cardigans are a quintessential Sabrina Carpenter move because she knows Taylor Swift, who sang a song called Cardigan.
Now, if you've shopped Thredo before, just throw out everything you think you know, because they've made some changes, like an enhanced search bar and the image search feature, which I've actually spent hours on. It's basically like a game. You upload a picture of your outfit inspo, and then it just magically comes up with pieces that are exactly what you're looking for.
When I tell you I've spent hours doing this, I'm not even kidding. This shopping feature is more addictive than pickleball. You can upload screenshots of movie characters, your dad, anyone whose style you want to copy.
And they have a style chat feature.
Or you can enter a prompt and the little wizards behind the screen serve you exactly what you're looking for.
So whether you want to look like a pop star or just be prepared for FUMMER.
Change the way you thrift with Thredo. Try the new features yourself using my link below to find every style for every occasion.
What to make next? When you ask most people what comes to mind when they hear Sabrina Carpenter, they'll probably tell you a teenage witch and Jesus. I'm gonna make her heart cutout thing next.
This outfit is what comes to mind when I think of Sabrina Carpenter, but she's worn it in so many colors that I couldn't pick which one was the most iconic. So I asked my followers to help me narrow it down. While that vote was festering, I plundered and pillaged my fabric stash because I don't like having to buy more material if I don't have to. I have blue fabric, but no blue lace. However, I have this pink bedsheet and a pink lacy curtain panel.
Just have to hope that everybody uses their civic duty correctly and chooses pink. Actually, let's try that again. I think I might have made a typo.
So I fixed the typo and re-uploaded the vote.
Check again. Check it out.
I began by drafting my pattern. No, not drafting it into the military, silly. I'm pretty sure fabric has religious exemption from that. Essentially, you'll want to pinch, manipulate, and draw on your bedsheet until it resembles your notion of what a bedsheet should actually look like. But that's just the mock-up, so hold your camera between your chin and collarbone, then rip those pieces apart. Then thrusting forth your finer bedsheet, trace the mock-up pieces while wondering if you have what it takes to be an Olympic breakdancer. That's what I thought about while making this, and it turned out pretty good. Except the heart cutout. Before I glued interfacing to the back, it was really floppy, like an ear without cartilage. Fun fact, someone in this video actually has an ear without cartilage, but you can't tell until you flop it. This has so many boning channels, so to make them, I traced the zip ties I was going to use. Well, that's what I did for the first couple channels. The rest I just kind of freehanded, trusting that things always work out. But then they didn't work out because a lot of the channels were too small. But then Dan came over, found me some smaller zip ties, and finagled them all into place. So like I said, everything always works out. To close up the back, add grommets exactly 1 ear width apart. I made this ear out of silicone caulk, but you can probably just use a friend's. And if you don't have any friends, you can just use an ear made of silicone caulk. And if you don't believe this is done, and in one afternoon, now our options are decorated, or just sit here and twiddle our thumbs. Most of you don't get that. You know one thing everyone gets? Bedazzlement. I used E6000 to cover my corset in lace scraps and Dollar Tree rhinestones. But if you don't have any rhinestones, you can just use diamonds.
Start time.
Now sniff around until you find a beautiful curtain.
What a beautiful curtain.
If you don't have any curtains, well then I certainly hope you don't walk around your house in your underwear.
You know, it's 8 p.m., which is the time that most people would be off work, but she's working late. Because she's a singer.
I would like to take a second to formally apologize to you, dads. You don't get any of these jokes. That must feel really isolating.
I tried this on, and it became very quickly evident that I need to add a flesh-colored fabric right here to not de-bedazzle my corset.
After guarding my heart, I thought, heck, why not go ham with this whole coverage thing and make some shorts to go under my transparent skirt?
So I'm gonna go to the store and get some pink spandex, but on the way, why don't we chat? Craziest thing happened yesterday morning. I woke up and I couldn't find Grandma. Grandma! She apparently has the capability to fly the fence. So I go out looking for her in the alleyways, and I run into a guy who's like bending over in some bushes. And I'm like, did you see a chicken? And he's like,
did you see a chicken?
I said, it's my chicken. He's like,
I'm missing a chicken.
And I was like, what does yours look like? He was like,
It's a white one.
and I was like, mine's orange.
Turns out it was his chicken in the bush.
Later on in the day, she did come clucking back my yard, just walked right up to the fence, waiting to be let back in. But the point is, have you ever run into someone looking for a chicken? Well, what are the odds 2 people will be looking for a chicken in the same alley? That's crazy.
I know I'm not actually driving, but I'm uncomfortable filming while driving.
By the way, Grandma is very happy here. She has not tried to escape since. Don't know what her deal was that day. I guess her give a clucks were on vacation. While grabbing the shorts fabric, I was overcome with another idea. But no, we have enough beachwear. In fact, these shorts can double as a swimsuit. This whole look can, actually. You know, anything can be a swimsuit except wool. You'd probably drown. To make the iconic Sabrina boots, I took some I already had and added bedazzlement. And voila, now you have boots that are wearable for much fewer occasions. Now lock the goal in your mind as we prepare for the grand reveal. This outfit would be perfect for a lot of occasions, like to wear in the grand reveal section of a video about making Sabrina Carpenter's looks.
For this next look, you're going to need a pink hearse and a vacuum.
The pink hearse is vital to emulating Sabrina's allegory on how the demise of a relationship occasionally ushers in a newfound sense of unfetteredness. Her dress is made of tulle, and we are working on the floor, and Tulle's favorite hobby is to collect floor things, hence the vacuum. Once the vacuuming is completed, you can redrape yourself in civilian attire.
Couple things. First of all, I have shorts on under this. Second of all, do you like my outfit? I got it from my imagination and then I made it. And if you'd like a barely helpful tutorial on how you can make one, you should check out my last video. You'll be one of very few people to do so. Yeah, the numbers weren't great, but that's okay because the reviews were smashing. Such reviews as such as, and on top of that,
Of all the comments, the one that stood out to me the most says, "This is one of my fave videos to date," which I thought was weird because why would you date a video?
now let's make it look so cute it'll get a priest
For
fired.
those of you confused, I am not personally planning to take a flamethrower to a priest. It was a Sabrina Carpenter reference. And to those of you confused as to why I'm making another swimsuit, this is simply the base for our tulle monstrosity. And how monstrous are we talking? Well, I used 30 yards of tulle and folded it to the length of 10 dining room tables stacked on top of each other. Then I cut a length of string long enough to go around my chest twice and gather stitched all those dining room tables together. My longing for a hardy piece of elastic to adhere this to led me to the store, and my longing to feel righteous indignation led me to a confrontation in the parking lot.
I hate when non-handicapped people park in the handicap spot.
Hi, can we
I knew it. I freaking knew it.
Can you believe the gall of that guy? I cut the elastic to my chest measurement, and if you're wondering what that measurement came out to, ew, weirdo, then I stretched, pinned, and sewed the elastic to the tutu.
I have to decide, do I want my dress to actually look like hers with the peculiarly open back, or do I just want to make it a full circle?
Option 1 or option 2.
This option felt really weird to me, but it's what Sabrina Carpenter did, and Sabrina Carpenter is the GOAT, am I right?
Who's your favorite female pop star?
Meghan Trainor. I love Meghan Trainor.
I don't know. I'm gonna go with this one.
Currently, I really want to paint a mural in this hallway, but instead we're gonna make a veil.
My best friend Courtney and I were younger. We made a whole secret language, and the word veil meant four. This outfit is perfect to wear to a wedding. No. A funeral. No. Bar mitzvah. Quinceañera. Inauguration. Groundhog Day. It's perfect for nowhere. Oh, wait.
Okay, somebody should totally wear this to their bachelorette party. It's cold in here. We need a fur coat. More specifically, the fur coat from the Please 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 music video. But alas, I can't decide if I should make the pink fur coat or the green fur coat. Only one way to find out.
Now, I know the nation of Micarah is fraught with rigged elections, but I promise the next one you're going to see is legit. After this one.
They chose green. I like everything I've made of her so far, but I'm so excited to make something that I would actually wear on a daily basis.
When cutting fur, you always want to use a carpet knife and cut it from the back, otherwise it'll make a huge mess, and I've already done my vacuuming for the year. Now, as much as I would have liked for you to see how this coat is made, Garion did not share that sentiment.
Garion, how long have you been up there?
I can't believe he broke my streak of having the most informative and easily followable tutorials on the internet.
I'm gonna have to halt sewing for tonight to go get evening brunch with my friends, and we'll get right back on this jacket tomorrow. Promise.
But ultimately, isn't the word promise just a more eloquent word for lie?
The next day I didn't work on anything because it was my boyfriend's birthday, so I hung out with him and he told me he had a surprise for me. I just had to put on uglier clothes for it.
Then he mixed up a bucket of porridge and asked me to hold his hand inside of it, after which he whipped up a batch of poisonous milk, which he poured in the crevasse, and boom, we had an adorable thing. And even though he'll probably use my hand cast to frame me for a crime, it was still a sweet gesture.
Let's draft some sleeves. And while we do, if I may just stay on the topic of shortness.
In case you didn't know, we've been on the topic of shortness this whole time because Sabrina's upcoming album is called Short and Sweet, probably due to the fact that she's 4'11".
There's a stat that I made up that I would put money on. I wager that 75% of girls my age are taller than their moms. Like, round up everyone you know, everyone you can think of. How many of your friends your age have moms taller than them? It's so rare. But like some people I've told this theory to are skeptical. So I was thinking, why don't I test it? Why don't I use my power as
an influencer
to conduct scientific research? Maybe get a Nobel Prize out of it. That would just be a collateral blessing. It's time we put this out to the masses.
While the results are cooking in the oven, I'd like to let you all know that I consider you to be my peers, and I want you to view these results and then review them, so that it can be considered peer-reviewed. And while adding elastic to the cuff, I checked the results, and I was floored to see that 64% of you are taller than your mothers. No surprise, I had to take a moment to really let that sink in.
First off, wow, is that not the exact number that I guessed? No need to rewind, just trust me. Secondly, oh shoot, that's crazy. And is it gonna keep going on this trajectory? Can it? Does the WNBA have the capacity for all her granddaughters? Do I have room on my shelf for a Nobel Prize? Listen, I'm acknowledged. I'm part of the problem. I'm 6 inches taller than my mom. My daughter's 6 inches taller than me. She's gonna be 6'4". She's gonna be this tall. Another weird fact I heard recently, the height gap between men and women is apparently closing. How do we feel about that? What's gonna happen after it closes? Are we gonna pass them? By how much are we gonna pass them? Will the future look like Pangea? Do I care? Sabrina Carpenter is our only hope. What am I saying? No one should listen to me. I don't love it. Someone's like, this is the girl he matches with on Tinder. This is what she looks like in real life.
So I added the exact thing that you should do to your mom. Call her. Get it? But just kidding, it was a hood. Then I took a second to be a little bit sad because I was still grieving my chicken, but I persevered. Now please, please, please enjoy the final grand reveal.
This ride doesn't really work for this one.
So I repainted my car with Rust-Oleum spray paint in the shade of old.
Does it almost look like I'm sitting back on it?
Yeah.
I actually just hovered a few feet in front of this seemingly ownerless vehicle that's been parked in my neighborhood for eons. But you fell for it, didn't you little...
I'm so sweaty that the lining is sticking to my arm and will not come off. Road flatulence. You know, I think this whole experience has made me a Sabrina Carpenter superfan. Seriously, I really like her. So I'm gonna close out my video the same way she closes out her shows, with a little ditty. I'll be honest, you shouldn't make a big fur coat in August. ThredUp has better options though, I promise.
So change the way you thrift with ThredUp. Try these new features for yourself using my link below to find every style for every occasion.
Sabrina, if you're watching, I'll die.